Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all having a good start of February and probably like me, glad to see the back of January, which felt like the longest month ever. To celebrate the end of January, I thought I would film a quick flip through of, I say quick, I'm probably going to ramble on for ages, but I thought I'd film a flip through of my Hobonichi Cousin just so you can see how I've used it this month and probably talk in a bit more detail about the setup beyond what I've already shared in the setup video that I posted a few weeks back. I will leave that link just in case you want to see it. I'll leave links to anything that I mention in the description, so any blog posts, any videos, anything like that. But to kick off, so you've probably already seen this, I'm not going to go into this in too much detail. These samplers, I like to have them to hand to try and get me to use them. I always keep kits that I'm using in there, and then I have my laminated planning routine. I've also started using this for page flags that I no longer need on certain pages. I'll leave them there because they last for absolutely ever, so I never want to bin them, and it's quite nice to have somewhere to hand. My yearly overview page hasn't changed too much, apart from I've put a week's holiday in there that I had, just so I can keep track of that. My index page, fully filled in with all the pages that I've used. So I don't use every page in my Hobonichi Cousin. I know a lot of people get hung up on blank pages and feel like they need to fill it. I'm not that kind of person. I don't mind having blank pages. It does mean that if I ever need a notes page or something, I've got one ready to go. And I like having notes pages in here because sometimes there's information that I need to refer back to, so I don't necessarily want it to just be written in a random notebook that I'll forget about. As you can see, I haven't used the top or bottom yet, as I mentioned I would be. I'm just gonna see how it goes. I feel like I might necessarily not need to. I think probably all I'll do is, as I mentioned in the setup video, just write a couple of the key pages that I know that I will need to refer back to quickly and know that I'll need to know where they are. Most of them I've put page flags on, but I probably will just write a couple of the most important ones just so I've got the info there, I guess. Then onto my monthly. So my monthly I'm using slightly differently this year. I'm still putting in appointments and birthdays, as you can see. That's focused in on the top half of the day, and then the rest is for kind of, I say gratitude, but it's basically kind of gratitude, highlight of the day, anything good really. I think this year it's definitely needed, and yeah, given we're in lockdown, it's generally food, but that's fine. I'm okay with that. If I can't go out and go see my friends and go see my family, I'm going to fill my days with good food and video games. So yeah, that's mainly what I'm writing about. I've also been marking, so each grey dot is an hour spent on the shop. I don't necessarily do anything with that information, but it's quite nice to have it to hand just so I can see how much time I'm pumping into the shop and making sure that what I'm doing is efficient, because I do have a full-time job alongside the shop, so I don't want to be kind of running myself ragged and then realising that I'm not necessarily seeing the full benefits from all the time that I'm putting in. And then just here is kind of a general task list for the month. It's usually kind of birthday presents and cards, but there'll be the odd thing like my MOT was due, so I wrote that in there. Really like how this looks. It's given me opportunity to use up a few stickers from my sampler stash, and yeah, I love how this looks, and it'll be nice to flick back on throughout the year. And hopefully as I flick through the year there'll be more and more plans as the UK comes out of lockdown, but it'll be nice to see, to kind of look back and see, yeah, even during lockdown there was still some good stuff going on. From there, let's talk weekly pages. So this is the week that I started in this cousin. I don't know why, but I like using a new planner from the first full week in Jan. In the in-between week, I used my novelty listy too. I've got a few videos and blog posts about the novelties, so I will leave links to those if you're curious. But the layout I used this week is one that I've talked about before on the blog, and this is my kind of hybrid Alistair method layout, which simply is the tasks that I'll probably do several times throughout the week get listed here, and then I mark off when I need to do them, and then sometimes kind of add a bit more detail. So in the designing one here, On this day I was designing spring budget stickers, and on this day it was new samplers, and then this day I didn't do it, I migrated it, but that was the plan. So that's the bulk of it. The top part I use for events and things that I've done, and sometimes just a bit of commentary, so the sleepy stickers get used a lot. And then the bottom half is used more kind of, I guess, as traditional planning, so any day specific tasks that will only get done once, that will go in here. I found that when I was doing the Alistair method on its own, I had lots of stuff written down here, but then it just felt really kind of blank, and then sometimes I ran out of space to kind of add in extra to do tasks. So yeah, I really like this layout, it works well for me. I used a kit with it, so this is the Winter Flowers kit from my shop, which is available in a couple of different bundles. But yeah, I like how this looks. It's a functional layout for me. I then pretty much did the same thing the following week with a Winter Sparkle kit from the shop, but I just didn't write the line. I think I prefer it kind of marked out like that, just because to me it looks cleaner and there's a clear separation. But same thing again, a few stickers, Alistair method, and then normal kind of tasks and to-dos. This week I actually didn't use, I used my Nolty. The reason for that is I was actually ill this week, so I normally set up my week on the Sunday, and that's when I started being ill, so by the time I could actually sit upright at my desk to plan, it was already Wednesday. So because I knew I wasn't going to have an uber busy week, because I was still recovering, I still didn't feel great until the kind of weekend. As you can see, Saturday was kind of the first day that I felt reasonably normal. I used my Nolty because it's basically the same layout but smaller, so perfect for less busy weeks. And this is a week's kit, which is available in a bundle in the shop. I love how the kits look in here. This, like, even though this is sized for a week's, fits perfectly. And yeah, I love how this week turned out actually. These are actually some stickers that I designed. So I used, because it was blank, I used it as a test layout, which is another good thing sometimes about having blank pages, particularly if, obviously, only for the use case of sticker designers, but it does mean there's a page to test out some stickers. These are my new simple weekly kits. I've called them weekly kits because I'll be using them primarily in my weekly pages. So I'm using this in the first week in Feb as I film this, but they're kind of just really simple deco stickers that can be used for pretty much anything, but they're sized for the columns on the Cousin weekly layouts, which is why I'm calling them a weekly kit. But I love these. It's something that I've been after for a while, just some really simple decorative designs that can be used, particularly as I'm not necessarily using everything in weekly kits at the moment. So there's a lot more stickers than this. In fact, I think I can probably say this is where I keep all of my kits. So this obviously isn't this kit. So I didn't use everything in this kit, and whereas I will reuse all of these stickers in my daily pages because these work out really well, particularly these stickers for kind of titles and these for breaking up the pages, it's nice to not necessarily have to worry about lots of leftover stickers. And these simple kits basically are just stickers I can pull on whenever I need to fill a gap, and there's a few different styles and will usually work with however I'm planning my week. Yeah, a little ramble about that. And then going back to, I think that's, yeah, I really enjoyed this kit. I think it's perfect for January when it's kind of grey and gloomy outside. It's, yeah, a nice mix of colours. But this week I actually went back to kind of more traditional planning, I guess. So no Alistair method, no splitting out the days, anything like that. It was pure, what am I doing, to-do lists, and with a bit more kind of, to kind of fill the pages and also to help with kind of filling out my monthly spread when the time came, just popping in a few bits of things that happened. So like, I didn't plan to walk to Waitrose, but I did, so I just popped it in there with a little sticker, refunds that I've got, commentary on the day and how bad it is, just things like that. I really like this. I don't plan like this all the time, but it is a layout that I come back to every so often, just when I want to kind of have a real kind of full-on kit week, lots of pretty stickers, lots of colour. Yeah, love it. And now onto my daily pages. So I'm just going to cover that up because I've realised that there is something I don't want to share. So start of my daily pages. So 1st of Jan, I wasn't at work, so I use it as a daily. On days that I'm at work, I don't use my daily pages as dailies because I don't need to, because I'm working till 5, and then I don't feel like I need a whole daily page for what is essentially 4 or 5 hours before I go to bed. Really simple layout to my daily pages, nothing kind of too fancy. And like I mentioned, using up stickers from my weekly kits, perfect on these pages. So this is an example of, I suppose, what I would consider collections, like you'd see in bullet journaling. On days that I don't use the pages as daily planning, I'll go back and fill these up with other kind of planning or other collections. So this is just planning some printables. This is my long-term planning, and I guess I've put /inbox, so basically anything that I think of that I want to do, which isn't an immediate thing to do, almost like a bit of a wish list of things. That goes on here, and I've got a sticky notes, a page flag so I can get to it quickly. Pen test page. If you saw my Hobonichi and Nulty comparison, you'll have seen this page. This is something that I have started to do this year, just to fill up my daily pages a bit more, but not for the sake of it, more so that I have a little bit more to look back on. I did do it a bit more last year and definitely printed out more pictures and filled my pages a bit more, but I want to kind of go the next step and kind of have a bit of a monthly go through of my camera roll on my phone, print off anything that made me laugh or things that I did, and then just stick them in on either the relevant days, or if there's no relevant day because it's a meme, then yeah, it'll just fill up some space, but will hopefully be something nice to look back on. So this made me laugh. I think this actually came up on my health app on like the 1st of January. So yeah, obviously if I go for a walk on the 1st of January, I'm going to be averaging more steps. It's not that anymore, by the way. My top songs from Spotify. Apparently I'm the #1 buyer of coffee in my local Sainsbury's. I mean, that's not a surprise. I literally probably buy 2 to 3 tins a week. Frasier is my favourite TV show ever. So I printed this off because it felt very relevant to the pandemic. In case you can't read that, it says, "So you're saying that doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result hasn't worked? Kills freeze." There will probably be a lot of pictures from Frasier in my planner by the end of the year. This was the day that I installed a new power unit in my computer and therefore was able to fire up the Oculus Rift for the first time. I absolutely love the Rift. I've been playing Beat Saber and Synth Riders and a game called Thrill of the Fight, and it is now my go-to exercise. Love it. I burn so many calories doing it. So yeah, if you're humming and ahhing about it or need something different from an exercise, kind of, well, because a lot of the gyms are closed, well, in the UK the gyms are closed, highly recommend the Oculus. This is something I tried doing, not sure about it, just kind of a week in review. Have I met all my goals in terms of health, finance, shop, blog, YouTube and hobbies? I've kind of done it twice, so I haven't really kept up to it. I might just do kind of a monthly review instead. It's just something to try and keep me accountable, but I'm not quite sure it does keep me accountable. I think I need to find a different way. My grandparents in a newspaper many, many years ago that I was sent by my mum. Trying out some date covers. This is just a random kind of planning page from some printables I was doing and the Blue Month of kits. This is my sticker wishlist page, so always happens that I remember that I go and look for a sticker in my stash and realise that I don't actually own said sticker, so I'm usually really bad at remembering it when it comes time to placing an Etsy order, so I've created this page just so I can write any ideas. They may end up becoming ideas of things that I make from the shop, but yeah, that's just stickers that I want. These are just a couple of funny things that were sent to me or I found. Hopefully you can read these. My favourite one is this one. List of books to read before you die. Any book you want. Don't read books you want to read. You don't want to read. That's it. Congratulations, you did it. I love that because it's just, like, reading is one of those things that everyone puts on their New Year's resolutions and has lots of books that they think they should be reading, and actually I enjoy reading sometimes, but it's not something that I feel like I can make time for. It's not interesting enough for me, but I feel this pressure to kind of read all of these books, and it's just not me. So yeah, I love that. It spoke to me. My favourite of the Bernie memes. So if you're American, this is a TV show called Bottom, and it works perfectly. So yeah, a good marrying up of worlds there. This is going to be a bit of a planner inspiration spread. So these are pictures that I found on Instagram. That one is Kina Prints. I'm not too sure where that one's from, but I just want to fill this with images of planners that I really like, so that when I'm kind of have a bit of a planning block, I've got something to look back to and get a bit of inspiration. I wish I could plan in a week's properly, because I absolutely love this spread, but it's just, alas, not me. Daily page from Snow Day. Got to take some pictures because where I lived looked absolutely beautiful that day. Another week in review. So this was the only other one that I did, but I did it over 2 weeks because I'd already forgotten to do it. This is going to be a quotes page. So this is a quote that my friend Sam sent me, and I absolutely loved it. A man is not a necessity, a man is a luxury, like dessert. I adore dessert. I pick them because I like them, not because I need them. It was a bit of a timely reminder, particularly as we go up to Valentine's Day. And I think that is it. Yeah, that is it for January. I hope that was of interest. I hope I didn't ramble on too much. Let me know if you'd like to see one of these once a month. Let me know if you want to kind of see kind of an all-in January flip of all of my planners from January, or, well, probably not for January now, but for future months. Are you happy just seeing the cousin, or would you want to see everything and all the planning that I've done for that month? Any questions, comments, please let me know. And yeah, hopefully you like this video. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will speak to you all soon. Bye.